So tonight I am hosting a free real estate meetup at my house where we have a guest speaker, David Green from Bigger Pockets Podcast, one of the best-selling authors around the country, is going to chime in tonight in my home to all of my friends, clients, and people interested in real estate. I cannot wait. Stay tuned. Just even saying the term investor, it just happened real fast. You know, we got into real estate, we started investing. You know, as soon as you find somebody that's kind of doing something that you want to do, you start, you know, on their heels. And here I am being able to actually host a meetup, which is super cool, and help all of you guys. And hopefully I bring you guys some good information. There's 1 million ways to invest in real estate. And there really are. There's so many different strategies and ways to invest in real estate. That we could talk about it all night. One of the most important things you can do is pick a strategy and then go execute it. Maybe execute it a few times, get good at it. One of the hardest things is that there's so much to choose from that it can feel really, really overwhelming. So we've got something happening. We've got interest rates rising, right? We've got homes for sale, but that's not gonna, as soon as the fear goes away, we do not believe the market is going to crash, okay? You got the big, huge burst of buyers. Do you know who the huge burst of buyers was there for a little bit? Who we were going up against? iBuyers and big investors and hedge funds, okay? It was not mom, pa's. It was not young kids. Actually, those people really couldn't even keep up. 5%, 6% interest rates, the interest rates that people are, this is their excuse. The market's gonna crash and 5 and 6% interest rates are scary. Oh my gosh, are we spoiled? Oh my gosh, are we freaking spoiled? Spoiled brats. In the 80s, we were in the teens. Like my parents were buying at 14, 15, 16% interest rate. And now we're scared of 5 and 6% interest rates, right? We've got this fear model. We do not have high interest rates. We're all scared that the market's gonna crash. That cash held up our market there for a while, guys. This was our market, right? For the past few years. This is our market. Do you think we could sustain that rate? You know, as cool as the jets are and F-16, can they sustain this rate forever? No, at what point, at what altitude do they have to finally level off? This is what's happening. Watch this. From here to here, we're leveling off, guys. We're going back to a traditional market. I am not scared. What just went away from our market? Competition. Thank you guys so much. Competition. So I was going up against 10, 15, 20, 40. We've had 30 and 40 offers during the heat of the market. That's the competition. But right now with fear and a traditional market leveling off, competition has receded. What do you think a seasoned investor is doing right now? Buying as much as possible. Like I said, I know we can talk so many different avenues of investing. I would encourage all of you guys to, when you're in a room full of people saying the market's gonna crash and this, that, the other, I would encourage you to surround yourself with people like the Bigger Pockets podcast, get into the books, whatever you need to do. But when people are saying the market's gonna crash and this, that, the other, and you know, do these scare tactics, I would really encourage you to lean into this market because I think that there's so many opportunities. And keep in mind, you're building it for yourself for sure. But I think that we're all wanting to leave some kind of legacy in one way, shape, or form. And if it's not in the matter of kids, you can always gift real estate, however it is that you want to leave that legacy. But you can be creating legacies right now. And I would love to see people like everybody in here do that versus the Blackstones and the Mr. Monopolies and the billions of dollars coming in. So like, who knows David Green? Who knows who he is? Does anybody like, please do a little, okay. One, he's a best-selling author. He's obviously a co-host of Bigger Pockets. We just talked for about an hour about the current market, about the fear that's in the current market.
It's changing so fast. The supply of money has been increasing so much that whatever you think money's worth, you don't really know. I don't just invest in real estate to build wealth. That's the way that I say it. That sounds easier for people to understand. I'm really investing in real estate to maintain the wealth that I've already built, to maintain the money that I've already saved, because if you don't, it's just being eroded. So if we look at real estate and we know that buying it and holding it for a long period of time makes it impossible to lose, and we know that if we don't buy something with our money, we don't put it into something, it's guaranteed to lose, your brain starts to formulate this understanding that you're not investing to get ahead, you're investing to stop from falling behind. Raising interest rates could be looked at as negative because they're making homes less affordable. They could also be looked at as incredibly positive because they're knocking out that competition that stopped you from buying a house at all. Now, I don't try to time the market. I buy houses in every market. If I saw a market like '05 that I just thought this is insane, it's ridiculous, we have way too much supply and prices are too high, bad loans are being given, of course I wouldn't buy. But in general, in any normal market, I've been buying. But in some markets, I will go harder. I will put more of my time, my energy, and my effort into accumulating real estate versus running businesses or writing books or other endeavors. And the reason that I'm going gangbusters right now, I probably got I probably closed on about 12 houses in the last 40 days. And if you look at what I have in escrow right now, it'll be about 16 homes when it all is said and done, and counting. I'm out here looking to buy more, is because this increase in interest rates have knocked out so much of my competition. Another reason people talk about cash flow. It's easy to turn cash flow into the dream of the life that you wish you had that you didn't have, okay? Can't get a girlfriend? If you had cash flow, you could fix that. You could take her out to nice dinners. Don't like your job because he's always yelling at you all the time? If you had cash flow, you could tell him to shove it. Wish you had a nicer car? If you had cash flow, you could afford it. Don't want to wake up in the morning to go do something? If you had cash flow, cash flow becomes a magic pill for every freaking problem. So it makes all the people that are interested in fixing their life and they want to invest in real estate, makes them more likely to go throw $100,000 towards a course, and cash flow is what they sort of like the carrot that they dangle. But the reality of cash flow when you get into real estate, it is wildly unpredictable, especially in the beginning. You think you're going to get cash flow and one thing breaks or one tenant leaves. If you just look at how much it costs to repaint a small unit when someone moves out, it's usually 9 months of cash flow. Like, if you have a tenant that leaves every year, you will never cash flow ever like you thought you were going to. Another reason people talk about cash flow. It's easy to turn cash flow into the dream of the life that you wish you had that you didn't have, okay? Can't get a girlfriend? If you had cash flow, you could fix that. You could take her out to nice dinners. Don't like your job because he's always yelling at you all the time? If you had cash flow, you could tell him to shove it. Wish you had a nicer car? If you had cash flow, you could afford it. Don't want to wake up in the morning to go do something? If you had cash flow, cash flow becomes a magic pill for every freaking problem. So it makes all the people that are interested in fixing their life and they want to invest in real estate, makes them more likely to go throw $100,000 towards a course, and cash flow is what they sort of like the carrot that they dangle. But the reality of cash flow when you get into real estate, it is wildly unpredictable, especially in the beginning. You think you're going to get cash flow and one thing breaks or one tenant leaves. If you just look at how much it costs to repaint a small unit when someone moves out, it's usually 9 months of cash flow. Like, if you have a tenant that leaves every year, you will never cash flow ever like you thought you were going to. So as you're running your numbers, it's okay if you buy a house that maybe gets a 3% return on your investment. I'll even buy a house that will break even in many cases because it's not going to be breaking even in 5 years. It's not going to be only making a 3% return. In fact, the house that gets the 15% right out the gate will probably stay that way for the next 15 years versus the 3% return house in the really good area is going to be at like a 40 or 50% ROI in 8 to 10 years. So I'm really going to encourage you guys to take a longer term approach. Stop just staring and focusing on what's right in front of your face. Like what Jocko Willink will say is like, take your eye out of the scope and look at everything that's around you and you'll make better decisions.
Thank you so much. Just finished hosting my very first mastermind, and my guest speaker was David Green. He blew it out of the water. I was only supposed to have 10 minutes of his time. We got like 30 minutes of his time. These group of people behind me will change their life. with real estate, and it starts with masterminds and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Go out there and get it.